Hello and welcome to the new video. Today we're gonna take a look at my favorite team for the Opener Master League. And of course, they're going to be better Pokemon around currently, but I don't have access to them, so this is the best team that I came up with. I guess. I kinda got some inspiration from a viewer of mine that I battled like a month ago or something in the Open Master League that had a similar team to mine. But what we're going to have here is a team type that I barely showcase on my channel because I usually don't like them. But today we're gonna take a look at an ABA style line. What this means is you have a fairy in the lead, you have a fairy Pokemon in the back, you have something in between that kinda counters whatever fairy type Pokemon don't want to face. And this team is so much fun. Like, this team is so good, and honestly, while I don't like ABA teams usually, I can talk a bit about here as well today why I like this one so much and why I think this team is amazing. But anyway, we're going to have here the lead of Zacian. Running Quick Attack, which is important, by the way. Run Quick Attack, don't run Snarl. There are some matchups that are quite important that you do a little bit more fast move pressure. I know Snarl seems to be a little bit of a cooler play now, where we have like the Necrozma forms, but trust me, it is better to run a Quick Attack in the lead. Then we're going to have the Say Swap here of... Oh, there is no Say Swap. You don't Say Swap usually. It's very, very rarely that you Say Swap. You usually want to always play out the lead matchup. There is literally no Say Swap for this team. Like, if you go for Kyogre Say Swap, you're gonna basically 99% of the time, you're gonna end up against a Dialga, a Dragon type Pokemon, whatever sort, like Palkia, which completely hardwalls you. And if you go for the Say Swap of the Xerneas, which I would recommend you, if you have to Say Swap really, that might be the way to go. Then you're still going to have some issues against certain Pokemon, like for example a Ho-Oh. So why do I like this ABA style line while I don't like other ABA style lines is basically because Zacian is not a fairy type Pokemon. Yes, it is a fairy type Pokemon, but it doesn't do fairy type damage. Yes, you can give it fairy type damage with Play Rough, but we don't even want it. So basically, whatever is going to be able to be good against fairy type Pokemon, like a Ho-Oh, we can beat. We can literally destroy with something like a Wild Charge. And that is kind of why I love this Pokemon so much and why I like this team so much. You have so much flexibility just because you have a Pokemon lead that basically wins 99% of the leads currently, which is quite mad. And so yes, I climbed over 250 points with this team. Also, in today's video, we're going to battle Homestays Henry, so definitely stay tuned for that one as well. But yeah, anyway, if you enjoy this type of video as well, feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you have not already, as you're going to be easily able to still knock out the opponent's Palkia here with a 1 HP and a Dream. Then we can move on to the next opponent. I did around like, I don't know, 70 battles with this team, by the way, and I can definitely assure you this team is amazing. This team definitely will work out for sure, and it has a lot of Pokemon that are like a little bit of older meta Pokemon, which I feel like a lot of people kind of like now. So especially, I kind of want to build this team and use this team mainly because I was struggling quite a lot with the ZYGARDE complete form. This team has like one hard counter, one medium, and like basically actually two medium counters. Like, your lead still should be able to kind of deal with it. It's a little bit tricky because you don't have super effective coverage. Kyogre is just neutral against it, and Xerneas completely beats it. And so this Pokemon is not really an issue at all. I feel like this team can struggle later on, like in a few months or something, when the Solgaleo and Necrozma form, of course, the Dawn Wings. No, the Duskmane Necrozma, honestly. I always kind of mix them too, like in between there, but yeah, the Duskmane Necrozma. If this Pokemon gets a little bit more common, this team might struggle a little bit more. But so far, this team is just lovely. I would really recommend you to give it a try. As here, we're gonna see our Xerneas being able to hit that Moonblast against the opponent. We're gonna start actually commentating the battles now as well, as we talked enough about the team itself. But yeah, again, I climbed up over 250 points. I'm super close currently to the next rank of Veteran, which I was kind of close to before as well, but I kind of tanked. But yeah, let's move on to the next opponents. Palkia in the lead. We're gonna stay in here. It's going to be a very decent matchup for us. We don't have fairy type coverage, but it doesn't matter. They swap out into the Zacian. We have some lag here against us, which is a little bit annoying. But what we can do is we can now swap out into our own Xerneas because we clear our debuff. We force the opponent to go for a debuffing move or for their play rough if they have this. They have the Wild Charge. This puts them into close combat range, and they cannot basically align themselves here. There should be no way for them to align themselves. They don't even try. And so Even the Palkia is going to be fine for us because you're always going to have a Fairy-type Pokemon against them. Here, I'm just going to go for the safe damage of Close Combat, allowing us to put them into range for a Wild Charge or Close Combat of my other Fairy-type Pokemon. They're forced to go for an Awkward Tail. Awkward Tail is not going to be able to, really do too much here because, it's going to knock us out, but we can still align our Fairy-type. In comes the Kyogre. In comes also a Wild Charge. And we are still in a decent spot, but it's not clearly over yet. We're gonna get the shield advantage, which is kind of huge, but now we have to hope they're going to have not Thunder here. If they have Thunder, this might be a little bit of an issue. We decide to use a shield. It is going to be a Surf. And now we're still not really too much smarter now at this point because, we can still go for a charge move. But at the end of the day, I'm not too sure on how much it's going to help us. We will see here the opponent going to go ahead and go for a charge move. It's going to be a Thunder. It's still going to be fine, but it's going to be just the Surf. They swap out into their own Palkia. I can go for my Surf. I just kind of want to get the clock a little bit down here, so we're going to be able to swap out. We cannot swap out yet, but now we can swap out, and hopefully we can still take a move from the opponent here. An Awkward here should not do enough damage. It does not. They can still reach another one, though, which makes it a little bit more scary for me, as we can reach out for another shield. And now we kind of have to go for the full farm down, and we can win this battle. Next opponent, let's see what they're going to have. They're going to have another Palkia in the lead. Lovely for us as the Necrozma swaps in. This is going to be a little bit of a trickier one. You're going to go straight for the charge move here, and I'm forced to go to my Kyogre afterwards in order to just do some nice fast move pressure against them. But at the end of the day, this is still going to be a tough one. Moongeist Beam still doesn't have an animation, but we can try to go for a charge move to knock them out. And at this point, I would really like to align myself later on, because if I can swap out of here, I have basically now an ABB style line, as I have two Fairy-type Pokemon in the back, and they actually don't even go into the hardest ends to me. They decide to go into that Dialga. And so I can go for the Origin Pulse, but it's still not great though. Because if you think about it, they have Iron Head, and they just got a ton of energy. And so it is still kind of scary. We can use a shield here, which was not really smart because I should have let the move go through. But anyway, I can go for a charge move now. And the opponent decided to catch that move on the Palkia, allowing us to get even an attack drop, which doesn't matter at all, but go for the full farm down. One Iron Head is not going to be enough to knock me out, and so I should just go straight for that close combat, and I don't. And this is silly, because I would have won this battle if I just went straight for it. But can I still win this battle? Well, let's find out here. There's only one way of winning this, and this is kind of catching move from the opponent. This is the only way, and I cannot, and I screw over the game for myself. That was insanely silly, completely unnecessary, but good game to the opponent. I don't know why I did this. Let's move on to the next one. Again, this was not on the team, this was on me. Look at this, another Palkia in the lead. This is not kind of scripted or whatever, or try to put only the best battles together. No, Palkia lead was so common for me, which of course helps this team a lot, because as soon as you're going to align yourself, which you can do against the Landorus here, we're going to be in a decent spot. Landorus is not going to enjoy the Surf, going to easily knock them out straight away, but they decide to use a shield, and I don't really care too much about my Kyogre. I don't really care too much about it at all, as long as I can align myself here. And I need to go for a Surf now, which is hilarious, but I can go into my Xerneas again. And this is kind of the lovely thing about this team. Yes, you have an A-style team on paper. As soon as you swap onto your Kyogre, you're gonna be an ABB style line, which is going to be kind of cool for you, as you can just have a Pokemon basically as a safe swap here with the Xerneas then, with the Zacian then, because it's going to be kind of nice coverage Pokemon anyway. You're going to have coverage for Steel-type Pokemon like the Dialga. You have coverage against Flying-type Pokemon like the Ho-Oh. And so you're going to have quite a lot of nice coverage with this thing. And so I'm very happy about this team as well. Here we will see the Wild Charge going to connect, gonna put them into a range where my Xerneas will be able to farm them down with that Geomancy Legacy move, by the way. Don't waste your fast moves, and this is basically the worst possible Pokemon I could have encountered. But it's hilarious, because you're going to be able to go for a Surf. And this was enough to put them into farm down range. With a 1 HP in a Dream, we can actually still win this battle. Goodbye their Kyogre. We're going to knock them out, and we can move on to the next opponent. Let's find out what they're going to run. Tapu Bulu, that is one of the more problematic leads. This is one of the more problematic Pokemons for sure. As this is going to be a Pokemon that we cannot really hit at all with my lead here. But also, I struggle quite a bit with Kyogre. By the way, if you don't have a Kyogre, you can also use the Palkia origin form instead. I forgot to say this in the beginning. But yeah, if you kind of don't have this thing, you can definitely substitute it with that. Anyway, you see me using shields here, and you might think that does not make any sense at all, and you're most likely going to be right with that. But on the off chance that you're wrong with that, I might be able to get a shield from the opponent again, and that would be quite nice for me. And so the opponent is going to be 2 shields down, but they also have 1,000,000 energy, and so we are going to be in a tough spot. We are forced to go into our Xerneas, we are forced to take that Nature's Madness, and they're swapping out into the Landorus, allowing me to go into my Kyogre at least. They can only go for 1 charge move, which is quite good for me as I can now let this move go through. Stone Edge is going to stunk against me, but it's going to be still fine as we can go for the Surfer to retaliate, knock them out, and let's see what is coming in next. It is going to be very likely Tapu Bulu again, and it is. And I was thinking Tapu Bulu, best Pokemon to call with, is that Ho-Oh, and so I decided to use a shield, and I was correct with that. But does it help me? I think it is a CMP tie, and so yes, it does help me. The Surf is going to connect, doing quite a lot of damage against them. The Brave Bird is coming through, and with this game is over. I can still go for even a close combat here in order to knock them out, just to be safe, and this is going to be it for this game. We can move on to the next opponent. Let's see what they're going to run. We're going to have an Everlock in the lead, and look at this, we're going to have close combat as coverage, which is going to be great for us. And again, we're going to have actually only good answers for this thing, so even if we lose the switch alignment here, it's going to be fine at least against this Pokemon. But yeah, we usually let the first move go through, because this is going to allow me to just go for another close combat. This is going to get the shield, and look what they try to swap in. That poor opponent here taking that wild charge against the Gyarados straight to the face. Nice, no legendary team so far, but it doesn't help them because you see why you need kind of legendary Pokemon in the Open Master League. Boom, going to even hit harder here against the opponent, just kind of mad. Icy Wind is going to be able to knock us out. We can try to go for the full farm down, but it doesn't really matter. The opponent decides to just let it go. This is the single worst lead possible for this team. Again, if you run Palkia instead of the Kyogre, this might actually be one of the options where you can swap out into your Xerneas instead, because Xerneas is a more neutral matchup, not even a way better matchup, but a more neutral one. But my opponent makes a crucial mistake here. For whatever reason, they decide to go ahead and go into their Charmer of Togekiss, allowing me to align myself, and also gives me a ton of energy on my Kyogre. Let's see what's coming in next. It is going to be most likely again that Dragon type Pokemon of the Giratina it is, and we can swap into our Xerneas, aligning ourselves, but also I think the opponent is still locked into this matchup, which hopefully is going to allow us to have a little bit of a play here. Now in comes a Moonblast. Moonblast is going to be able to get the not knockout but near knockout as they swap out into the final Pokemon, being that Primarina. Having a toxic double charm lane here for the opponent, it does not help them, especially as they get the attack drop there from Moonblast. 10% chance to get that one. We can keep our Xerneas alive. We can go for another Moonblast to do some massive damage against the opponent's Primarina, and this is going to put them perfectly into farmland range for the Kyogre. They realize it and they forfeit. Final battle against Homeslayers Henry here. Showed him as well. We're going to see the Zacian in the lead, but we are running Cricket Tag, they are running Snarl. And you see already based on the HP on what difference this makes. They generate energy a little bit faster than us, and they also have Play Rough, which is going to be a little bit better for them in terms of like neutral coverage without debuffing themselves. But look at this, we're going to be now in a scenario where we're going to have a little bit of an energy advantage because they took more energy for Play Rough than we do with a Wild Charge, but also our Fast Move is just chunking away from the opponent's health. And so Wild Charge coming through should put them into range where I would be even able to farm them down in the 2-shield scenario. This is going to be great. We're going to be able to align ourselves. It's going to be that Landorus. And yes, we're going to be in a spot where they can farm me all the way down. That is fine. That is totally okay because we have that Kyogre still lurking in the back. We still get half of the opponent's health here, which is going to allow us to just go ahead and go for the full farm down here, but the opponent has a Darkrai in the back and this is game over. So this is going to be it for this video. This is going to be my best team for the Master League. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.